Alrighty, welcome back to another video. We are out here in London trying our first ever Gales coffee upon Emma's recommendation. We're actually in London today specifically to try W6 Crisp Pizza. I think that's what it's called. We take our off-plan meals very seriously. A lot of research goes into them. And I found it online, the viral trending pizza or whatever. And cut a long story short, we have one off-plan meal per week. And today we decided to come into London to get it. There may be some ice cream sprinkled in there as well, as it is the hottest day of the year, although it's extremely overcast, which is just classic England. It's very muggy. But yeah, the overall theme of this video is going to be cheat meals and staying lean whilst incorporating things like pizza, ice cream or whatever into your diet. Gales coffee, 10/10. I'm a bit of a coffee snob, so you know, coffee has to be pretty good to impress me, and that is bang on. I could tell she did the shape, and you know when they serve the coffee without the cap on, and they give it to you without the cap, and you can see the shape, and you just know she knows what she's doing. All right, Em, verdict on the matcha?
It's very high up. Yeah, no, it's really good. Considering it's not a vanilla one, what is it?
It's an Algarve.
Algarve.
It's a Portuguese matcha. That was an awful dad
Really
joke,
good.
but essentially we discovered that Algarve syrup is just honey essentially. So, yeah, Gales, 10 out of 10 for your coffee. Well, we're here at Anita's Gelato. That was absolute carnage getting this ice cream. This is quickly melting, where we got pistachio cream, Cookie Man, and what's my last flavour? Milk chocolate pretzel. Yeah. We're going to dig into this, and then we'll talk all things off-plan meals and snacks. Right, so this must be the biggest ice cream I've ever eaten. It was literally a battle to get it down to this size before it all essentially went down me. But let's talk off-plan meals, off-plan snacks, in a fat loss phase or a gaining phase, whatever. So whether I'm training to, you know, be in a gaining phase and packing some more size, or I'm trying to lose fat, I always have one day a week. It is not a cheat day, right? Do not get it twisted. It is not a cheat day. I have one off-plan main meal and one off-plan snack that day. Fucking hell, what brain freeze coming on. Now the reason I do this, well, me and Emma do this, is because we're so on it, like Monday to Friday and Sunday. The same meals every single day, high protein, low calorie if we're on a cutting phase, and obviously if we're on a gaining phase, slightly more calories, but essentially I do have the same food every single day. I train hard, and this off-plan meal stops me, or off-plan snack, stops me from binging during the week, right? I actually recommend all my clients have one off-plan meal and snack per week, whether they're in a gaining phase or a fat loss phase. I keep repeating myself there, but hey ho. And again, that's because it helps keep them sane, okay? It helps give them something to look forward to. In the evenings where it gets tough, right? Especially when you're losing fat and you want to reach for the cupboard, you think, right, I've got the off-plan meal and off-plan snack at a weekend. Let's just hold out for that. But yeah, that is essentially why we do it. And Anita's Gelato, probably the most expensive ice cream Emma's ever had to pay for, but it is bang on. All right, Em, what do you think?
It's really good. It's worth £20.
Worth £20.
2 ice creams and 2 waters.
Definitely worth £20 for 2 ice creams and 2 waters. Rightio, so that is ice cream devoured. Ratings, Em, out of 10?
10. Solid.
Solid 10. It was very, very good. We're going to go to Gymshark now because I've got a little bit of money to spend on some new gym clothes, because you can never have enough gym gear. I've literally not treated myself to any in a very long time, so we're going to see what we can get in there. I'm not going to splash the cash because I am trying to save as much as I can, but yeah, going to see what we can find. You going to get anything?
Maybe, I'll see.
Maybe, I'll see. In other words, Emma will find something and ask if I can get it at checkout. You know you're in London when, oh, let me change the settings, when you're in the bag on your front in busy areas. So as I mentioned earlier on, our off-plan main meal of the day is going to be a pizza from Crisp W6. Now Emma's been banging on about this all day, haven't you, Em?
Have I?
Yeah. Why isn't it not working?
I haven't though.
Mate, sometimes this camera, there we go. You excited?
Yeah, I'm excited though. It's very hot for a pizza.
It is very hot for pizza. The sun's come out now. Finally the clouds are starting to disperse, which is fantastic. But yeah, they do this. I think we've ordered the Vecna and the San Marzano, whatever the hell that is. And cut a long story short, I pre-ordered this on Monday. I checked on Saturday to see if they had any left. All sold out. So this place is pretty serious when it comes to pizza. Couple bits cops from Gymshark. I literally got the stuff that I tried on that you saw, and got a little 2-piece thing. You can't not go into Gymshark and come away with something. Every time I've gone in that fucking shop, I always end up coming out with something.
When we're away, are they linen?
Yeah, linen.
UK.
After a treacherous journey and like a 20-minute wait, we finally got the crisp W6 pizza. So I'm going to tuck into this now. Enjoy the view. Go on, Em, show everyone the view. Lovely. I actually confused that with Tower Bridge earlier, and even Emma and the cabbie laughed at me. But hey ho, we're going to dig into this. So we've got the last slice of crisp pizza. Absolutely unbelievable. As I kept saying to Emma, you know a pizza's good when it's not floppy. Anyway, on the topic of cheat meals and whatnot, now the most important thing is that when you have a cheat meal or whatever within your plan, your meal plan or whatever, the next day you just go back to normal, all right? Don't approach the next day like, oh my God, I need to restrict my calories like crazy, blah, blah, blah. Just go back to normal in your meal plan and it will not touch the sides as long as you're dialed in for the other 90% of meals throughout your week, okay? And on topic of percentages and fat loss in particular, it's more important what you do 80% of the time than it is 20%. 80% of the time we're dialed in, right? I know I kind of just said 90% there, but 80% of the time we're dialed in, 20% of the time we enjoy ourselves, okay? It's not what you do with the 20% of the time, it's what you do for the 80% of the time which gets results. So good. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. I didn't have time to film the outro when we got home yesterday. It was an absolute nightmare getting back. Trains cancelled left, right and centre. Bloody long journey, I tell you that. It's never easy, is it, when you go into London? There's always some kind of issue with the trains. But anyway, as you saw, we did have another off-plan snack. Be rude not to. I can never not go to London and not get a donut time, which actually it's called Rodeo Donuts now. Every time I go in there, I do feel very demasculated because I have to ask for that ice baby, which, yeah, it's not the most manly thing to say, is it? But anyhow, the main focus of this video was to talk about how you can essentially eat pizza and still lose fat. I've mentioned percentages a few times throughout this video, and the main message here is the 80-20 rule. Fat loss does not come from what you do 20% of the time, okay? It comes from what you do 80% of the time. 80% of the time, I'm absolutely on the money with my calories. There is no doubt about that. I had the same meals every day. I'm locked in. My cardio gets done, my steps gets done, my training gets done. And then that 20% of the time, I enjoy those sweet treats. I enjoy those pizzas, those burgers or whatever, because life is about balance. And if you want your goal to be sustainable for the long term, you need to find a system that works for you. And that 80-20 split works for me. I'm able to lock in, during the week, and then at the weekend, I have a few off plan. Well, normally it's one off plan meal, one off plan snack. But, I fancied 2 off plan snacks this weekend. Is that gonna, kill me? No. Is that gonna ruin my fat loss phase? Absolutely not. So the key takeaway, if you do have any from this video, is the 80-20 rule. Remember, fat loss is not about what you do 20% of the time. It's about what you do for the remaining 80% of the time. But anyway, that is the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you drop the video a like and subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in the next one.